Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for stopping by to this version of Dazzled or Disappointed by the Lorac Mega Pro 3 palette. So today we're going to go over this palette, see if it's worth your time, worth your money. I will show you swatches of everything that comes in this palette. And so let's go ahead and get started because there are a lot of shadows to go through in this. So first off, this is what the box looks like that it comes in. So nothing too special, kind of just shows you a picture of what's inside the palette. This kind of just gives you a real quick description of the product. It says, Go Pro with Lorac Mega Pro Palette 3. This limited edition Pro Artistry palette is packed with 32 eyeshadows, all in the matte and shimmer shades you need to create the hottest look straight from Hollywood. Lorac's velvety smooth shadows are ultra pigmented with maximum payoff to perform wet or dry so you can shade, shadow, line, and define your eyes just like a pro. So this is what the actual palette looks like. Now, you've probably, if you're looking into reviews for this to see if you're going to pick this up, you've already seen reviews with people saying it's got the white packaging, so it's going to get dirty real fast. And that's the truth. I keep my palettes and products, I try to keep them in pristine condition, and even I had trouble keeping this clean as I was using it. So just keep in mind that the pretty white packaging, even though it's got the, rose gold lettering, it's going to get dirty. So that's just something that's going to happen. Let's take a look inside and see what it looks like. So the mirror is almost the full size of this, not quite. That's without blinding you. That's about the size of what it looks like. And then you get to the shadows. So I have to say I am probably most excited about this one just because of the different shades, the different tones. There's a lot in here for everybody. I think it's going to please a lot of people. There's a lot of, I feel like a lot of warm shades, but I also feel like last year's was pretty warm. So before we go into swatches of this, I want to show you what last year's looked like. This is what the outside looked like, and then on the inside, also a whole lot of warm, some cool tones as well, but it really did lean towards the warm side. A lot of orange tones, a lot of browns, a lot of wine color, or not a lot of wine colors, but you've got a couple of that lean towards the wine color side. And so then you've got, the pinks, a couple of champagnes. So I feel like in every one of these that they release, they try to put as much as they can in there to please as many people as possible. But I never get crazy about these like dark foresty green shades, and then, these emerald blue shades always look pretty in the pan, and then you swatch them or you put them on your eye and they almost go on like black. You can't even tell that they're a blue. And so I don't know that I was as impressed last year. So this year I didn't know what kind of expectation to have, just because I wasn't as impressed last year. I did get my hands on the first one when it came out, and I liked it a lot. But then last year's came out, I wasn't as crazy about it. And so this one, I didn't know what to expect with it. But when I opened it up, I was really pleasantly surprised. And so I did use it on my eyes today. It's what I did, it's what I created my look with. And so before we go into my thoughts of how much I liked it, I do want to give you all the swatches. So let's go ahead and swatch every one of these 32 shades. Okay, right here we have pink cream, tan, pecan, and walnut. And that's what they look like. Before I swatch the next four, I'm just going to give you an idea of how dirty this can get. With just rubbing my finger in slightly, you can see all right here, that first row. I mean, it's not neat, it's already coming, it's already spreading outside the pan, so it's going to get messy, it's going to get dirty. This is, let's see, dusty mauve, violet gray, eggplant, and dark navy. Very pigmented, very smooth, but I think that is pretty consistent for Lorac shades. Crepe, toffee, mist, and vintage, and these are the first four shades of the second row. So as I swipe them onto my hand, there's a lot of like excess that stays behind that I have to blow off. So just keep in mind, I didn't have a whole lot of kick up when I was doing my look this morning, but I am finding that as I put my fingers in and I swatch them, I do get quite a bit of kick up. Last four of the second row are Hickory, Maple, Bark, and Jet Black. And that's what those look like. So they swatch really, really nicely. The pigment is there, the color payoff is there. I had no problems whatsoever this morning. As I said, when I was doing my eye makeup, I had no issues. It blended very, very well, smoothed onto my eyelid very, very well. Now we get into the shades that are right up my alley, and those are the shimmery, satiny type shades. Mattes I can take or leave because I really just ever use them for my crease. I don't ever create a whole eye look with a matte, and I would prefer shimmery satin shades. That's just what's, you know, what appeals to me. And so the next two rows are gonna be just that. So first one we have is Snow, and that's the one I used on my brow bone today. Cava, Cider, and Bellini. And that fourth one, Bellini, it's like it got kind of chunky when I swiped it down my hand. Last four of the third row are Brown Sugar, Sequoia, Glacier, and Deep Fog. Into the last row, we have Tulle, Pink Bronze, Rust, and Rose Quartz. I'm finding more with these satiny shades that they tend to kind of, I don't know if I'm grabbing too much on my finger for the swatch, but they tend to ball up when I swipe them down my hand, more so than the mattes. Last four are Olive, Dark Roast, Pomegranate, and Licorice. And Pomegranate was the one color I was looking forward to most in this palette. I love cranberry reddish shades. I just think they're perfect for fall. They're the perfect, you know, Thanksgiving, Christmas type color. And that's what they look like swatched. Okay, now let's go into my final thoughts. Now I picked this up, it's exclusive to Ulta. I picked it up for $59. I think they had said, there's talk of this also possibly being available at Kohl's. I did not check the Kohl's website. I know it has since released, it first released for Platinum Ulta members, and it is now available to everybody on the Ulta website, and I think any day now it'll hit stores. I did not check the Kohl's website, so I don't know if this is one of the products that they will be carrying for the holiday lineup. It was $59 and it came with 32 shades. So let me give you my thoughts. This morning when I applied it to my eyes, and I had already kind of done some swatches, but I had not used it on my eyes, I don't know that I was super impressed. I didn't know that I put it on my eyes and was like, wow, these are like the best colors ever. But I didn't hate it either. So this is going to be one of those times where it's like I wasn't completely dazzled, but I wasn't disappointed either. Now, I don't know if I just wasn't completely disappointed because I was already kind of disappointed with last year's, and I did like this one better than I liked last year's. I like the colors better. They're more suited to what I gravitate towards. So I didn't hate it in the least. I think if you're looking for a good bang for your buck, $59 is a great way to get 32, I would call Lorac shadows quality eyeshadows because they're soft, they're blendable. Sometimes you have to work with them a little bit more than usual, but I do find that I like them. So I think it's a good way to get, make your dollar stretch. Because $59 can get you a palette maybe with like 10 or 15 eyeshadows, not necessarily 32. So this is a great way to get a full range of colors without paying a ton of money. So I do think it is worth picking up. Again, I won't say it's on the spectrum of I am completely dazzled by it, but I do think if, you know, again, if you're looking economy-wise, to be economical, it's a good way to get a lot of shadows. If you're a collector and you already have the previous two, you may as well pick this one up. I tend to go for that second route, but then again, who doesn't want a good deal? So it is $59. I do know that Ulta does also do a 20% off. I know I keep on harping on the 20% off. But they do a 20% off for members, and I don't remember how they do it as far as tiers go. But here probably within the next month, those of y'all who are Ulta Rewards members should be receiving your 20% off coupon. It just depends on whether you want to take the chance of it being in stock or not. But it's a good way to get almost 12 bucks knocked off of the price tag. So I hope this has helped you at least a little bit to kind of sway you in one way or the other. Before I let you go, I do want to give you the verse of the day. And it's from Acts 16:31, and it says, "Believe in the Lord Jesus, and you will be saved, you and your household." I hope you have a great rest of your day. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.